What do you think of Max Verstappen's approach to racing?
I'm not going to answer that, Jake. I've been totally,
Have you?
Give us a more rounded
not
version.
so.
That's the nice thing. We can be nuanced here, right?
So my take on it was that when if you're racing someone and you want to stop them from passing you, you just simply cannon your car up the inside.
Is Max Verstappen really Formula One's Dark Knight? This debate gets heated. Check this video out.
Even if the regs haven't been written clearly enough to say that you can do that, I don't think that is racing. It's simply taking a massive risk. But other people don't do it. If other people don't do it, then you're the outlier.
Yeah.
And running people clean off the track and just to stop someone from passing you is not racing. It's not racing. It's dodgems or whatever you want to call it. Banger racing.
Yeah.
It's not Formula One. We want to see skill. We want to see skill and daring, and we want it to be surgically done, not a bludgeon. You don't take a mallet to something. We want to see it done with a rapier. You want to see it cleanly done and effectively done and beautifully done.
Yeah. And Max can do that as well, right?
Yeah.
And has done that as well.
Yeah.
It's just that you picking up on that one point.
No, well, it's occasionally they are at moments in situations, let's say in championships. So
yeah.
Max doesn't rely on chaos. He thrives in it with precision. Look back at his overtake on Leclerc in Austria or how he defended at Zandvoort. These weren't wild swings. They were calculated risks with world-class execution. He's not breaking the sport. He's elevating what racecraft really means.
Where does Max sit for you in the list of great drivers?
Right up there. No question.
Number one?
Possibly. I mean, in terms of his effectiveness, in terms of his preparedness, his maturity, his speed, he's a phenomenon. And there are very few phenomena drivers. They are the ones that we know of, the Fangios, the Jim Clarks, the Sennas, and the Michael Schumachers.
And we've had the debate for years, Ronaldo v Messi. Where do you lie on Max v Lewis?
Lewis is a different kind of driver. So this is what I'm saying is that he wants, he's more of a rapier than a battle axe.
Yeah.
In competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you put one above the other?
They're different. I think Lewis's natural ability, I don't think even he knows the depths of it. I mean, he just somehow has been gifted an extraordinary talent for driving, and also a passion for racing as well. He still wants to race. I think it's more character differences than anything else, I would say.
Comparing Max and Lewis is like comparing different philosophies of racing. One sharp and instinctive, the other raw and relentless. But Max's current form makes it hard to ignore the shift happening in front of us. He's rewriting records with focus, speed, and maturity beyond his years. The consistency he's shown since 2021 isn't a hot streak, it's sustained greatness.
Have you seen the stat that Lewis is 4 race results away from being an 11-time world champion?
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, that shows you the fine margins.
Well, I think he should have won in his first season as well.
Yeah,
I still think that's an interesting season when Kimi beat him and what happened to his car. And I don't want to go down the paranoid route, but I mean, there were, Lewis was in contention from the moment he arrived, as is Max. Much more aggressive driver, competitor, racer, Max than Lewis, I think, on track. I mean, Lewis has done some things occasionally, but it's not common.
Where does your greatest rival sit on that list?
Michael.
That stat about Lewis is impressive, but Max's rise wasn't built on narrow gaps. It's been overwhelming. He's transformed Red Bull into a machine of precision and pressure, with him as the catalyst. Aggression, strategy, control, he's become the total package over the last 3 seasons. You can talk about margins, but Max is busy building margins too big to ignore.
What can we say now? I mean, he's up Lewis in terms of, I mean, statistics are a problem because statistics, there are more races now, there are more per season, etc. All these things. So championships, longevity, you can't really, you need to adjust it for inflation, you know.
Yeah. So where would he be?
Where would Lewis and I think they're level.
Yeah.
I think they're level.
And Michael above or below?
No, I think
all left.
Max still has to do in terms of, having said what I said about statistics, I think Max still has to deliver, whereas Michael's delivered his, maybe Lewis has delivered his, maybe there was an 8th title which didn't happen, which should have done, but maybe he should have lost when Felipe Massa.
I obviously spent a few years in Formula 1 and found that the least empathetic drivers were often the fastest.
Well, listen, if you're doing something, let's say you're a fighter pilot and you've got to go, you have to go and shoot someone out the sky. You can't go, I don't want to do it, because sometimes there's an imperative. There's something which is, and we make an imperative out of, motor racing and so forth. So you do need to be ruthless to compete. I mean, but you don't need to be a total bastard.
Yeah.
You don't need to be vindictive. You don't need to be take delight in other people's suffering as well. That would not be something that I would admire in a sports person.
Statistically, adjusting errors is fair, but greatness also passes the eye test. Watching Max today is like watching a future legend write his story in real time. He races like it's life or death, but without crossing into bitterness or ego. That balance of ruthless focus and clean execution, it's rare, and it's why Max is already in that elite bracket.
But in your career, you said when Ayrton Senna pulled you in and tried to give you some racing tips, you were like, hold on, I've seen the way you race. I'm not sure I should listen.
I didn't think,
You had Michael Schumacher who tried to sort of break you psychologically throughout your career. You've spoken about Max Verstappen these days as being a bit like Dick Dastardly. Like there is a recurring theme sometimes with the best of the best of the best that they have.
Yeah.
They have this thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a question of winning at all costs. What is the cost of winning? And, Jackie wrote his title of his book, Jackie Stewart's book, was Winning is Not Enough. In other words, it's not all about winning. It is, to a degree, how you go about it. I think that's what we're after with sport. Sport is a theatre, and it's a theatre where there's no script, there's a kind of general rule, but the principles are you want to see things that you admire, things, and that includes behaviour.
Yeah.
Not just victory. And my beef is a little bit more with, you can't have a free for all. You have to have someone saying, okay, we want to see racing, but we don't want it going beyond certain bounds. You have rules in every sport. You have to, so you want it to, those rules should be there to encourage great performances and not allow one individual to run roughshod over.
Max Verstappen represents the evolution of F1's competitive DNA: fast, fearless, and psychologically sharp. Yes, he's been labelled aggressive, even cutthroat at times, but every era of dominance carries that same narrative. Senna faced it. Schumacher faced it. Even Lewis, during his peak, was criticised for being too clinical. The issue isn't with Max's attitude, it's with how unflinching he is under pressure. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't fold. He doesn't give space he doesn't need to, and he doesn't give an inch in a championship battle. That's not unsportsmanlike, that's competitive clarity. There's a reason why legends like Prost, Hill, and even Rosberg admire Max, even when they critique him. They know what it takes to win in this sport. They've seen the toll it takes. And they recognize that behind all the commentary, Max has that unteachable trait: control in chaos. He knows how to build a lead, manage tires, play the long game, and dismantle rivals with precision. That's not dirty racing, that's world championship material. And it's the kind of excellence that will keep him on top until someone rises to meet him, if anyone can.